possibility of one use, for want of a better term, creating an orphan of a large part of property, because now other uses are prevented because of that one piece that was approved. So I've been asking, since this first came up at the beginning of the year, for a plan that shows the whole site so that we can approve various elements in the context of a plan for the whole site. So hopefully that's what we're getting. But
I understand staff met with Mr. Melchin and wondered what was the result of that meeting.
Maybe I can help out a little bit. The city did participate in a meeting that was hosted or held called by the DEQ. There's a number of parties that participated in that meeting, including the developer and the DEQ and the city. A whole host of subjects regarding the site was discussed, but I would say that there was limited discussion relative to really not very much discussion relative to the site plan that is at hand or subject of this review tonight. A number of other things were discussed, and particularly what currently is occurring on site, what might occur on site in the future, how the DEQ might be able to assist Mr. Melchin in that development of that site. But again, not really a lot with relationship to the site plan, because that wasn't the subject of the meeting.
Are there more meetings planned?
I'm glad you brought that up. We did walk away from that meeting, and first of all, I'd say that I think it was a very productive meeting, and I hope others that participated in the meeting felt the same way. But we walked away agreeing that there will be further meetings. And in fact, as we speak, there is an attempt at setting up that next meeting right now, and involving the DEQ and other state agencies to work with Mr. Melchin and other stakeholders on that development of that plan.
Any more questions, Commissioner?
Well, I have a number of them, but I guess that's a public hearing, I guess.
No, it is not a public hearing.
Not a public hearing.
We already held a public hearing.
Okay, then I'll go with my piece. Again, is what we're doing is I'm assuming the request is approval of the site plan. Okay. Yeah. In my many years of municipal service, I've seen a lot of site plans, and to me, this is a topography map with some areas colored in. There are no buildings, there is no paving, there is no personal property, machines, any fixtures, anything relevant. As I've struggled with this for the whole month, and I've read through the letter from June 21st several times, there was a couple things that I noted with interest. And one is conforming 1-2 principal use, they say scrap metal. And then they made it sure we do not operate junkyards. Then we get into another part where it says we understand the use of the property as a shipping port is not explicitly permitted by right in the I-2 General Industrial District. But then in the next paragraph, the last sentence says, a large factor in our decision to acquire the property is our belief that the industrial use of the property includes, by right, the accessory shipping port. My concern on that one, I mean, I'm going to vote no on this anyway, but if the majority decides, is that we take that out not to mean tacit approval, that they have the right to do whatever they want to do in that spit. Additional remarks as I read through here, and I'll just note them. Item 4, no new structures proposed. No new drives proposed. As far as soil erosion and sedimentation, Does this need to go to the drain commissioner? You don't believe so? Isn't it within 500 feet of a lake or stream?
We have our,
You are your own agent?
we have our own city engineer who checks for stormwater management procedures.
I know, but is he the soil erosion and sedimentation agent for Muskegon County? Or is he for the city of Muskegon? That's something you may want to check with the drain commissioner. I talked to him the other day. Number 20, no new lighting proposed. Location for solid waste disposable facilities, including recycle facilities, none proposed. Professional review. Additional studies may be required as regards to regional impact. Infrastructure impact assessment and traffic studies to be paid for by the developer. Are any of those necessary? If we're going to be bringing in scrap by the double bottom, do we need de-acceleration lanes? What's going to happen to the lanes that are established as they are on the thing? Compatibility with surrounding land use and development. To me, there is none. This does not, it doesn't benefit anybody across the street, before it, and after it. Belcom Coal is a hard sell already. Sales will be non-existent. Impacts the country club. If you want to rent the country club for a banquet, you want to walk out and see a scrapyard in action. To me, it's going to create noise pollution, air pollution, ground pollution. Now, my last question, and the last one, well, that's, I guess I'm done with there. I've got that in. Now I've got my other notes, and I have one question that's the most important, and I would like to be able to address that to the city attorney. Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Mr. Schreier, as a member of the Planning Commission, who is a volunteer, who understands zoning as it is per se, understands the applicant's right to go forward, but still vote no, do I have any type of liability?
Personal?
Yes.
No.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you. And I intend to vote no.
Any other questions from commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Spadaro.
Nobody else wants to go first, because I talked a little bit earlier, but I guess I will say is that I tabled this before. I'm not comfortable with the site plan as it is. I'm not sure we can say no to it. But to me, I want to be very clear. When I see that language that talks about compatibility with adjacent uses, this is industrial. It's been industrial. Country Club survived with the paper mill all those years. Malcolm's Cove was built with no expectation that the paper mill was going to go away. To me, that's not what the compatibility is referring to. I think Commissioner Larson was right, though, when it talked about, is there a need for a deceleration lane on the street? That street was reconfigured after the pumping operations were ceased and after most of the heavy trucking to the paper mill, long after the log trucks, for example, stopped running. So we don't know if the current street configuration is able to handle a substantial amount of truck traffic without that left turn lane or some sort of deceleration lane to handle that traffic. To me, the compatibility is, what's the access to the rest of the site? What impact is this going to have on the rest of the site? Anything this large that's going to have any kind of use on it, you have ingress and egress issues, you have drainage issues, and the drainage issues have been addressed, or at least looked at by the city engineer apparently. But I mean, from an overall site plan, we still haven't seen how this proposed use showing less than half the site fits in with what's going to happen with the rest of the site. entrances are not on this part of the site. Are they going to be connected? Or is the primary entrance to this use going to be what's shown on this part of the map? I mean, I think those are very legitimate questions. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask, how does this fit in with a larger site? Where's the access points? There's just one right here. So one would seem to, reasonably believe that they will use the other access points that are not shown on the site plan. And it troubles me that something that's fairly simple and basic and reasonable, which is show us your whole piece of property, show us how this particular proposal fits on that property and how it's gonna work, something we ask of every single person who submits a site plan, even if it's a little quarter of a block, a couple of buildable lots, that somebody wants to put some benches on and some planting so that their customers can sit and have lunch. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask that of somebody who's asking to, have us approve a site plan for, 40% of a 120-acre parcel. So I'm hoping that some additional material was provided to answer those questions. But I'm not prepared to vote yes until we have answers to those. And I don't think those are unreasonable questions.
Okay. Any more questions from commissioners?
My only question is, have we received anything else? I mean, we got one more piece of paper in our packet, but is there any more information for me?
This is the same site plan we had at the last meeting.
I guess my comment is, the things that I've heard so far, I don't disagree with as far as what we'd like to see. It'd be nice to have a site plan that includes the whole site,